By the end of this video, you will understand why some companies command fanatical loyalty while others fight price wars until they disappear. You will learn the single shift in communication that separates Apple from Dell, Tesla from traditional automakers, and Nike from every other sportswear brand. And you will walk away with a framework you can apply this week to your pitch deck, your hiring, and how your team shows up every day. Because here's the truth that most founders learn too late. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Let's get into it. Two tech companies, same quality products, same market. One fights for scraps, price wars, low margins. Customers leave the moment a cheaper option appears. The other commands something irrational. Customers line up overnight. They defend the brand for free. They pay a premium without hesitation. The difference isn't features. It isn't price. It's something deeper, something most CEOs overlook entirely. It's why. This is your CEO brief on Start with Why by Simon Sinek, the framework that turns customers into tribes and transactions into movements. Most leaders communicate from the outside in. They start with what they sell, then maybe how it's better. And if there is time, they mention why. That's the default. It feels logical. It's also wrong. Simon Sinek's golden circle flips this, the three layers. At the center is why, your purpose, your cause, the reason your company exists beyond making money. Around that is how, your values, your principles, the unique approach that brings your why to life. On the outside is what, your products, your services, the tangible things people buy. Here's why this matters. When you start with what, you sound like everyone else. You compete on features, prices, convenience, all of which can be copied. When you start with why, you attract people who believe what you believe, and the belief cannot be copied. The Apple example. Most tech companies sound like this. We make great computers. They are beautifully designed. Want to buy one? That's what, then how, then a transaction. Apple communicates differently. Everything we do, we believe in changing the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making products that are beautifully designed and incredibly intuitive. And we just happen to make great computers. Why, then how, then what? Customers don't buy iPhones for specs. They buy the rebellion. They buy the belief that they too can challenge the status quo. The lesson for you: audit how you communicate, your pitch deck, your website, your all hands. Does it start with purpose, or does it bury the why under features and pricing? If your team can't articulate why your company exists beyond to make money, you're already losing to someone who can. Most companies rely on manipulation, price discounts, fear of missing out, peer pressure, aspirational messaging. Here's the uncomfortable truth: manipulation works. That's why everyone uses it, but it works short term. It creates transactions, not relationships. Customers come for the deal, they leave for the next deal. Inspiration works differently. When you lead with why, You attract people who share your belief. They don't buy because of a discount. They buy because they identify with your cause. Look at the evidence. Apple fans defend the brand against critics without being asked. They become evangelists. Tesla owners don't buy a car, they join a mission. They camp out for deliveries, defend the company in online forums, and treat the logo as badge of identity. They are not customers, they are believers. Nike doesn't sell sneakers, they sell athletic aspiration. Just do it isn't a tagline, it's a belief system. When you wear the swoosh, you're not just wearing a shoe, you're declaring that you push limits, that you overcome, that you show up. That's why athletes, from weekend joggers to professionals, feel a personal connection to the brand. They aren't customers, they are believers. And believers do something transactional customers never do. They spread the gospel, they recruit others, they defend you when things get hard. The lesson for you: stop optimizing for short term conversation. Start optimizing for belief. When you inspire believers, you build something that compounds. Acquisition costs drop, retention rises, your tribe becomes your growth engine. Here's where most founders fail. They articulate a compelling why. They feel the clarity. They put it on the website, on the wall, in the pitch deck, and then they don't live it. Inconsistency kills trust faster than anything. If your why is customer first, but your support team is understaffed, people notice. If your buy is innovation, but you kill experimental products, people notice. If your why is integrity, but you tolerate political behavior in leadership, people notice. Your why isn't a marketing slogan, it's the filter for every decision you make. Where it must show up. Hiring. Do you screen for belief, not just capability? Skills can be taught, belief cannot. Products. Does every feature serve the purpose? If not, why does it exist? Marketing. Does your messaging reflect the why or just the what? Operations. Are your processes aligned with your principles? Leadership. Do your actions match your words? Your team watches what you do, not what you say. Symbols matter too. The Apple logo isn't just a logo, it's a reminder to think differently. The FedEx arrow hidden in the logo reinforces reliability. Tesla's minimalist design and direct to consumer model constantly signals we do things differently. Nike's swoosh is one of the most recognized symbols in the world, not because it's a check mark, but because it represents achievement, perseverance, and belief that everyone is an athlete. Your company rituals, how you start the meeting, how you onboard new hires, send signals every day. When your why is consistent across words, actions, and symbol, you build trust. Trust builds loyalty. Loyalty builds a tribe. The lesson for you: stress test every major decision against your why. New hire, do they believe in our why? New feature, does it serve our purpose? Strategic pivot, does it align with our cause? If it doesn't align, don't do it, even if it's profitable short term. Because short term profit at the expense of why is long term suicide. Let's make this practical. Three things you can do this week. First, rewrite your pitch deck, slide one. Not the market size, not the financials, not the feature list. Open with your why. One sentence. We exist to fill in the blanks. Then show how. Then show what. Test on someone who doesn't know your company. If they don't get it in 30 seconds, simplify. Second, change one interview question. You already screen for skills. Add one question that screens for belief. What about our mission resonates with your personality? Listen for genuine conviction. If they can't answer with authenticity, they are not a fit, no matter how impressive the resume. Third, start a weekly why movement. In your next term meeting, spend 60 seconds connecting one decision back to your why. This week we did X because we believe Y. Do this every week. It compounds. The why stops being a poster on the wall and becomes the air your team breathes. Let's lock this in. One, invert the order. Why comes first, then how, then what, purpose before product. Two, inspire believers, not transactions. Manipulation works short term. Belief compounds forever. Three, be consistent. Your why must show up in what you say, what you do, and what you decide. Inconsistency kills trust. Four, use symbol. Your logo, your rituals, your language. They enforce the why silently. Five, build a tribe. Tribes beat markets. A loyal community is the only competitive advantage. No one can copy. Brief is now complete. Now go rally yours. Start with the why and followers find you. Customers become advocates. Employees become owners. Your company becomes something people defend, not just something people buy. That's the difference between fighting for scraps and building something that lasts. This is your CEO brain library. High signal briefs for leaders with no time to waste. If this landed, subscribe. Next episode, we are covering good to great. What separates enduring companies from the ones that peak and fade. Comment your company's why. One sentence. I'll read them. Until then, lead with purpose.